When did you realize your parents shouldn't have had kids? When my 13-year-old sister whispered, "Dad said I didn't have a choice." It all started when I was 17 and had a crusty iPhone 6 where the charging port barely worked. And Amelia was in the bathroom one day when she left her iPhone 10 beside her bed. Her password was our dog's birthday, so I got in straight away. At the time, I was texting my crush and was going to send a selfie, but I couldn't get the right angle. And as I scrolled through my sister's camera roll, I noticed something. It was flooded with her unclothed self. A nauseous feeling crept into my stomach, and that's when I got the notification. It was from the Whisper app. For those who don't know, it's basically an app where you post anonymously, but it's known for being riddled with kitty fiddlers. I let my protective instinct take over and clicked on it. My heart twisted. My preteen sister was texting dozens of men who all claimed to be over the age of 40, sending her unclothed self to all of them. When I heard the toilet flush and Amelia finally finished taking a fat shit, I put her phone down and acted like nothing happened. That evening, I did something I'll regret forever. I told our parents. I waited until she was asleep and they were both watching Netflix in the living room. At first, I thought they wouldn't believe me, since I didn't have any evidence. But to my surprise, they went ballistic. My dad turned to my mom in shock, and my mom had tears in my eyes. "Son, thank you for telling us. We'll take it from here." I nodded, and sure enough, my sister's phone was confiscated for the entire month. And even when she got it back, my parents told her they'd be checking it every day. I breathed a sigh of relief and thought that I had fulfilled my role as protective older brother. And I guess when it rains, it pours. Because while my sister was grounded from her phone, my parents replaced their Toyota Corolla that was breaking down every day with a Tesla model. My mom replaced her ring with a crystal that looked real. And my sister's clothes from Goodwill were replaced with Brandy Melville and Urban Outfitters. But I didn't really question it, because up until this point, my dad had been nonstop talking about how he was eventually going to figure things out with his law company. And I just figured he had finally landed a huge client. I was chilling beside my sister's room when I glanced over at her phone. She was back on the Whisper app. She was texting so many men that her thumbs were moving at 100 miles per hour. I felt beads of sweat forming on every inch of my body. I instantly texted my mom to inform her that Amelia was doing it again. But this time, she just responded saying I had to learn to respect my sister's privacy, because she was 13 now, which meant she could do what she wanted. I had to reread the text on the screen 5 times before her words finally began to sink in. I didn't know what to do, because I knew there was no way my sister would listen to me, and I thought going to the cops would get her in trouble. So for a few days, I tried to keep her entertained by playing Minecraft with her, hoping that it would make her realize that she doesn't need to do that. But after just 3 days of this, my parents screamed at me. They said I was distracting Amelia from what's important, and I was banned from playing with her. Every day, my mom was coming home with huge bags of Victoria's Secret undergarments, and even replaced Amelia's phone with the newest iPhone at the time. Her room looked like a show production, with huge lights everywhere. And Amelia went from being a minimalist, sweet little girl to a girl that spent almost 2 hours every morning perfecting her makeup, hyperfixating on every detail like her life depended on it. So I threw privacy out the window and went through her old phone that was sitting on her desk. Suddenly, everything made sense, because Amelia wasn't just texting these men, she was running a business. Men ranging from the ages of 40 to 70 were sending her hundreds of dollars in exchange for her photos, videos, and even FaceTime calls. That's when I heard the door open. It was my sister. "Please don't tell Mom and Dad you found out," was the first thing she said. I watched as Amelia collapsed to the floor in tears. Dad told me I didn't have a choice, that my work is the only thing keeping this family together. I grabbed her hand and told her that we had to go to the police station. She hugged me super tight and told me she was scared. I told her it was okay to be scared, but it was the right thing to do. When I told the policewoman, it seemed like she was taking the case seriously, and she went into a room to discuss things with her supervisor. And 10 minutes later, the door opened. But it wasn't the policewoman. It was our parents. Turns out my dad had ties with all the police stations in the area and had already told them to inform him if me or my sister ever came to report anything. And to him, I had just jeopardized his little moneymaker, and he was about to make me pay. Full story on channel. Link below.